Okay, so composition of two functions. Composition means a function and another function. And one of the things that we have to remember is I'm just going to use F's and G's. So if I have F of G, this is red, and then it's the X. Okay, so this is red, F of G of X. So variable that we have, what function is going to go. This is the old school way of writing things. The easier way to write it, this I would rewrite it. Now don't get creative with changing your letters around. This just becomes F. And then I'm going to say G of X. So we're just going to use a whole bunch of parentheses. It's going to look like a nested problem. It works a little bit easier, I think, than using that of with it. And we're going to just order of operations, work our way out. So when we're doing this with our problems, I'm going to change to this color. And I have U and W. So I want W of U. So this W of, not of, don't write the of. All right, W of U of 1. This, the first thing I'm going to do, it's W, big parentheses, U of 1. And now I'm going to think order of operations. So order of operations tells me I'm going to do this first. So I'm going to do U of 1. And we've been doing some simple substitution, so evaluating functions. U of 1, remember U of X is 3x plus 1. So U of 1 is going to be, instead of the X, I'm going to put a 1. So this is going to be 3, and then I have the 1 plus 1. So U of 1 is 3. Instead of the X, I have a 1 plus a 1. Now I'm going to simplify this. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So U of 1 is 4. So this problem, the W can be the W, and I can replace this U of 1. I did all the calculations. I plugged in the 1 into the U, and I have 4. So I'm going to put the 4 here. And now I can find what W of 4 is. So W of 4 means I'm going here, and I'm going to place all of the X's with the 4. I've got a negative sign first, and then I've got my 4, and then I have minus 3. So this is going to be negative 4 minus 3, which is negative 4 minus 3. They're the same sign, so it is negative 7. So I've worked all my way through, so I know the whole thing is just going to be a 7. So this is 7. And then I'm going to do U of W of 1. Just because I changed the orders, I could get the same number, but I probably won't. So we're going to do this the same way. This is U of W of 1. So that is going to be U, bigger parentheses, W of 1. All right, so we're going to start with my W of 1. So W of 1, we're looking at the W equation. Instead of an X, we're going to put a 1. So this is going to be a negative and then a 1 minus 3. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. So W of 1 is the same thing as negative 4. So what I'm really going to be solving is U of, instead of the W1, I can replace it with the negative 4, make my life a little easier because it's numbers instead of functions. And then U of negative 4 means I go back to the U equation. I'm going to replace the X's with a negative 4. So this is going to look like 3. I'm going to put my negative 4 instead of the X, plus 1, which is negative 3 times negative 4 is negative 12, plus 1 is negative 11. Okay, so now I get to type those in and hope I have them correct, and then we can move on and do another example. Erase some extra stuff. All right, check my answer. And I did something creative. W of U of 1. So my first one, I have, oh, I missed my negative. So this has got a negative in it. I did not type my negative. So it is a negative, negative 4 and negative 3. This is why we write the work. I am going to fix that and recheck because this is negative. So it's good to miss on the first one rather than later because I don't lose any bonuses or anything. Recheck it and I should be good. Just don't lose your negatives. All right, so then I'm going to erase some of this stuff so that it is out of the way. I want to leave my general notes about what composites mean. And we'll get another problem while we're doing this. I need a bigger eraser. All right, next problem. So we have, oh, I missed one. Could erase this too. Okay, so I still have U's and W's. This time it's U and W of 2. All right, so the first one is U of W of 2. U of W of 2. I'm going to rewrite that as U, big brackets, W of 2. We're going to do that inside stuff first. So W of 2 means I go to the W equation, which has got that square root starting. So it's the square root. And instead of X, I'm going to put in a 2 plus 2. So the square root of 2 plus 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So this then becomes U. Instead of W of 2, I know W of 2 equals 2, so I'm replacing it with a 2. And then I'm going to the U equation this time, and the U equation tells me to take my X, which is 2. I'm going to square it, and then add 3. 2 squared is 4, plus 3. This is 7. It's a positive 7 this time, so I'm not going to have a sign problem. And then I'm going to do W of U. So W of U of 2 is going to be W, big parentheses, U of 2. All right, so inside the middle, we've got this U of 2. Means going to the U equation, plugging into 2, which I actually know it's going to be. So this is going to be 2 squared plus 3, which is 4 plus 3, which is 7. And then I'm going to plug that in. So I have W. Instead of U of 2, I know it equals 7. So I'm going to plug that in. U of 7. Erase my extra straight line. And then I get back to line. W of 7 is going to be the square root of 7 plus 2, which is the square root of 9, which is 3. All right, typing those in, should have 7 and 3. Check my answers. And we're good with this one. We're going to get another one, and then we should hopefully be done with these. So I'm erasing this. Ooh, it's still the same ones. Only this time I get to plug in a -5. I love negatives. All right, so first one is U of W of -5. All right, so rewriting it, U W of -5. W of -5. We're just going to use one color this time. Equals W tells me I'm going to go 2. Instead of the x, I'm going to put a -5 squared plus 2. So this is 2. -5 times -5 is 25. Plus 2 is 50. Plus 2 is 52. So then I've got going outwards is going to be U of 52. To do that, I'm going to have -2 times 52. This seems big, but we're going to trust it. -104. That seems really big, but we'll trust that we didn't do something creative. So W of U of -5. Well, this is W, big parentheses, U of -5. This U of -5 tells me that I'm going to go -2 times -5, which is 10. So I have W, instead of a U of -5, I'm going to say that that is equal to 10. So we're going to do it that way. And that'll be 2. Instead of the x, we're putting a 10 squared plus 2 equals 2 times 100 plus 2, 200 plus 2, 202. All right, both of these seem big, but we're gonna go with it. -104 and 202. Check our answers, and we are good to go with this topic.